It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. Donovan Peoples-Jones now from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Off of play action, it's Watson. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Pulls it in at the 13. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they are losers of 2 straight coming into this Thursday night game. Is it more difficult, CD, when you take a losing streak into a quick turnaround game like this?
It certainly is, because you don't get time to work on the issues that you've had throughout the season that have caused you to have the record that you're having. You can't really get those set. So now you're trying to minimize those and maximize what you've been doing well. And I remember a game recently where one of the assistant coaches said to the head coach, forget our running back rotation. This guy has a hot hand, and they rode him to a victory. Those are things you have to look out for in games like this.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Akella Witherspoon.
But to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 41, Pickett. Here's Johnson with a reception. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point now by Boswell. And oh, it's no good. For the 2nd time now in this first half, he's missed an extra point. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Pulls it in at the 13. And they got to be pleased with this. He brings it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Browns drive about to get started. Winless to start the year at 0-2, and now they get the Thursday night game here in Week 3. So, I don't know, does the fact that they're back out so quickly, Charles, help or hurt their cause?
Oh, I say unequivocally help, because you always want a Thursday game earlier in the schedule rather than later, just because the grind of the season hasn't really set in yet. But also, if they can get a win here, they get a mini open week, recharge a little bit, and carry some fresh momentum into the rest of the season.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. Bryant has it. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you.
And now Watson throws another interception. And the Steelers are going to take over at their own 41. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 25 yards, the pickup there, and also a first down. They run again with Harris. And he's got room. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. 3rd time's the charm on the extra point as he gets this one to go. And that will make this a 19-point game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Watson. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Well, after incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, it certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Watson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Steelers are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Oh, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ball game.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, You're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
Harris starts the drive on the ground. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down. But if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did that time for a loss.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. And some room to run now. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 87 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now as they've got it to the 28-yard line. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Pickett will look to pass it. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line.
Everything's going right here in this first half, and they've got a good lead. And part of that can be attributed to their success on 3rd downs. This is another conversion here, and they can look to really open things up now with this 1st and goal.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? Open man is Johnson. Touchdown Steelers. Deontay Johnson with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the route is on here in this first half. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Peoples-Jones going to elect not to run this out, and they'll begin at the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll run up the middle with McAllister. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. This defense for the Steelers, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. but I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Up the middle they go with McAllister. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the give, McAllister with it. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Cameron Hayward getting upfield to make the stop.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now a toss out wide to McAllister. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A give running left, McAllister. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards, and now a decision here on 4th and 1.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner, but where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. A handoff to McAllister. 45 yards rushing for now to this point.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
This is McAllister, and he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And that is incomplete.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
They'll try and run for it. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Pickett will look to throw it here. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards the pickup there.
And what many term is a down year for rookie quarterbacks. The Steelers took Pickett 20th overall because they knew him better than any other quarterback in the draft. They consider him the most pro-ready passer in the class. He's got plenty of gunslinger in him as well. You give him an inch of space to make a throw, he's going to try and make it into him.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but have to keep getting in his face. Not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Looking deep downfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Then he will take it across midfield and down to the 45. The rookie was trying to push him downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. T.J. Watt, always the disruptor, there to blow that play up.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Watson. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in for them.
Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Here's Pickett. Pass complete. George Pickens with it.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Fields the squib kick right around the 30. They're going to take this up.
Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Whenever I touchdown, touchdown. I hope y'all can nest double E, 'cause I need your eyes on me. Once I get my